All the planets in the solar system, Earth is my favorite one. It's the planet where I store all my stuff, and where all my friends live. It also has a lot of different creatures. All these creatures have an equal right to this planet as the next, even the pileated woodpecker. Nature's electrician, just banging holes in walls trying to get fed. The special thing about the pileated woodpecker I really like, one, it's just an absolute beast of an animal, and two, one time I was bringing my beautiful bride home from the hospital and she was all drunk on anesthetics. On a good day, this angel has a very smooth baritone voice. The first time I met her, she reminded me of this old NPR DJ named Mama Jazz. And coming home from the hospital, she was very tired. And for some reason this time, her mouth being numb, she sounded a bit like Foghorn Leghorn.
That's a pileated woodpecker, because those are the ones that are common around here.
And I think of that every time I see a pileated woodpecker. Don't make fun of my woman's husky voice, that's a quick way to get blocked. The irony in that is that something she's very self-conscious about is something I find very sexy about her. I find that to be the case with a lot of people. A lot of the things we view as faults, the things that make us self-conscious, are most often the things that make us most beautifully and uniquely ourselves. I was always very self-conscious about having a giant penis. That's something about me that my woman really seems to like, and that's always meant a lot to me. The word mucho, that also means a lot to me. Anyway, some asshole woodpeckers made a meal of this lovely man's home. Sucks for this man, but great for me, because I love doing cedar siding. I love the smell of it, I love the feel of it. It just kind of reminds me of building homes before we all got sent off to fight the Kaiser. On this project, I elected to use my son as labor. He's not really any help, I just like having someone around to verbally abuse. I feel like it helps me concentrate. Cedar siding, if treated right, is a beautiful, long-lasting material. However, it is very expensive, so I did my very best to remove the old siding in a gentle, respectful way, unlike how I took your mom's panties off. Those came off with a Miller High Life. Well, our pileated friend did a lot of damage to this thing. The main concern was the holes from above, creating a passageway for rain to leak down inside the wall, doing damage to the structural studs. So I elected to take off the bottom couple rows and cut a few holes in the sheeting to inspect for water damage. Luckily, the sill plate ended up being drier than a woman hearing a man tell a story about his Bitcoin investments. Again, cedar siding is very expensive. Try to do a little pre-planning to make sure you can get as many pieces out of each stick of cedar siding. I also like to pre-cut the ends, because the weight of it often can make it break off and snap at the thin edge of the siding. Oscillating saw with a good sharp blade handles most of the detail cuts. I've never come to an old home with cedar siding on it and found the siding to be level or even equally spaced amongst each other. So I do my best to make it look natural, kind of like the way you pour yourself into those spans. If you're like me and you forgot the proper hammer, just put a little bit of masking tape on that waffle head so you don't beat the shit out of the siding. When you start feeling confident about the amount of progress you make in one day is when the shit starts to hit the fan, and that's kind of what happened on this project. Whoever had done the roofing inadvertently created a channel where the water would run down the inside of the wall, and it did a great deal of damage. So our quick and easy siding job turned into a bit of a framing foundation repair job, which led me to the part of the home I love the most, and that's the crawl space. But we sistered in 2 joists, removed the rotten sill, and sistered in some studs, and I added some additional 2x6s for structural support. And then we knocked out the rest of the siding. I see a lot of carpenters on this app use lasers for absolutely everything, like your fucking Iron Man. But a speed square's worked for a couple hundred years, and I think it'll still work for a couple hundred more. Look at that corner, all strong and looking like sweet apple pie. While Kit and Dick went ahead and took care of all the trash, I tried to configure something to keep the water from re-entering the wall, so I created some Luke-style flashing. A lot of roofers on here will probably think this is the craziest shit they've ever seen, and I'll say yes, crazy like a goddamn lion. But after a couple tweaks, this bit of flashing here made all my dreams come true, if all my dreams were to keep water out of the inside of this wall. Anyway, remember to water your plants. It's been hot outside, and go fuck yourselves.